Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Um, I know that I haven't gotten the chance to post a lot lately. I've honestly, most of the stuff I've been doing has been with my wife lately on our Ash and Snakes channel. But this is something that really concerns me more than anything, so I felt the need to sort of have it addressed here. So, this is a lot to unpack. So, there is a rumor circulating because of this post made on Steam about the fate of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And it doesn't look good for the game. To anybody that's really been following this game like I have, you know that it's faced considerably a lot of backlash in just the few short months that it's been a game that has been out. Ever since its release back in October, it's just been criticized and ridiculed and memed at, and just, yeah, fans didn't take a lot of the qualities of this game very well. But I digress. So, no matter what your feelings are on this game, whether you love the game, whether you hate it, whether you couldn't give a shit about it, I think we can all agree that Marvel vs. Capcom still has a very large place in the fighting game community, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. For better or for worse, Marvel vs. Capcom is basically what helped make part of this backbone of the fighting game community, helped keep it going during the dry period of fighting games in the early to mid 2000s with with Marvel vs. Capcom 2 specifically. So, yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is rumored to be biting the dust as of October of this year. Now, the details are that from this leaker, the details he gave were that Capcom was originally working on Season 2's DLC, and that was when Marvel decided that we're just going to pull the plug on this project altogether. Now, keep in mind, these are just still rumors, but true or not, it's still going to serve my purpose and my point in what I'm about to address. So a lot of the reason that he gave for the reason why Marvel is allegedly pulling the plug on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is why it's not going to appear at EVO or Capcom Pro Tour whatsoever, is because of all of the ridicule that the FGC has been giving it. And I was just in a discussion on one of the Facebook groups that I am I'm a moderator for, and it's been growing steadily, so we've been getting a lot of varying opinions about this from a lot of different people. And I just wanted to share my take on this and also reveal a little something about my decision from here on out concerning the FGC. So, for the longest time, I have been a tournament hopeful, meaning that it's always been my dream to get into pro gaming, whether it was with Street Fighter or with Tekken or really with any game. I knew that playing in a tournament, especially in a major tournament, would be, a great experience for me that I would really love to carry on and continue, just do in general. However, the more I see the great things about the fighting game community and what it, potentially could be, the more it rears its ugly head. And unfortunately, the negatives far outweigh the positives as of recent years. And nowhere has that been any truer than with the way that we've been handling criticism from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, I get it. I understand that you are upset at the way the game came out. I understand that you are upset with whatever you claim Capcom did to you or did to burn you in the past decade. Whether you didn't like the quality of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, whether you hated the numerous iterations of Street Fighter 4, whether you hated Street Fighter 5 at launch, whether you hate Street Fighter 5 now because X character isn't in this game, we got to learn, and I'm going to take a page out of review Rich from Review Tech's book for a second, and I'm going to basically say what he said, because I agree with this, and this is very pertinent to what we're discussing right now. We have to be careful with who we criticize and how we criticize. Because let's face it, guys, the way that we have been criticizing shit has not been the best way. And we see it now. We can joke and we can meme all the fuck we want, but here's the thing. Are we leaving any constructive criticisms? Are we telling developers and publishers alike what the problem is? Are we articulating what our issues are and offering solutions to fix them? Or are we simply just ragging on a game just because it's not something that we like or just because it's Capcom? Are we being 100% a community, or are we being adversaries to ourselves? Those are questions that I had to constantly ask myself as of recently. And ever since Dragon Ball FighterZ got released, the hate got worse. The memeing got worse. The blind hate got worse. I don't care if you don't like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I don't care if you like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Personally, I love the game. Just off of gameplay alone. It's not perfect, by no means. I truly do agree in the notion that the art style and the roster are its two weakest factors. But I love the game nonetheless because it is still a fun game to play. And what I cannot accept, especially from a growing and vast fighting game community as this one, is I cannot accept blind hatred, I cannot accept hypocrisy, and I cannot accept ignorance. And we have shown all three for the past decade for no reason. And there are companies that out there that can do whatever and deserve all of the criticism in the world, all of the proper constructive criticism in the world, and yet we're doing little to nothing because we're all sitting there nitpicking at whatever Capcom or whatever Namco does or whatever. It just gets tiring after a while. And the double standard is starting to show. Back when King of Fighters 14, that was last freaking, not even last year, that was almost 2 years ago now. Back when KOF 14 was released. Everybody ragged on it for how it looked. Everybody said it looked like an ugly beast. But when the game released, everybody shut up because the game was fun. There were still some dissenters that talked about how bad it was, but there was still a loyal KOF community that enjoyed the game for what it was and was able to get past its graphical, I guess, shortcomings, and was able to enjoy the game for being a fun fighting game. In fact, most of the people that were going in and just talking shit about the game were people that have probably no interest in KOF 14, never had any intention on playing it, they were just trolling. But it died down. Why did it die down? Because it's not Capcom. That's why. And look, yes, I am a fan of Capcom, but by no means will I say that I am a Capcom fanboy. In fact, if Capcom makes legitimate fucking mistakes, I will be among the first to call them out on it. And I have. If you've seen my older videos, you know that I will do whatever it takes to make sure that they make the right decisions. That they do not fuck up and give people reason to go back and hate them all over again. Because I want to see Capcom succeed. More than anything. I want to see them come back to Cap God 90 status. Where they were untouchable. I want to see that again. But I can't see that, you know, without being one of the fans that wants to steer them in the right direction. By giving them suggestions like, hey, this isn't going well. Maybe try it this way, or maybe add this, maybe take this away, you know, because that's not really helping much. That is what it means to be part of a community. To look out for what you are a part of. To help and improve it and grow it, not tear it down limb from limb. And it's not all of you. It's not. But the issue is, it's enough of you. It is enough of you to the point where now we may never get another Marvel vs. Capcom game ever again. Because of stupidity. Because of ignorance. Because of people that have probably never even picked up the game before. But will continue to shit on it because it's the in thing to do. Even Street Fighter V, for as much as people love to rag on it, didn't get this much hate. In fact, Capcom was even being proactive with this game, fixing what needed to be fixed before it got too bad. And the reason why arcade mode took so long to be brought to the game was most likely because, I mean, it is a vast arcade mode that we're talking about here. Over 200 arcade mode endings. With the cast that they have, spanning all 6 of the main games, yeah, that's a lot. So, that part, that little bit, even including all of the Season 2 and Season 3 characters, that little bit is justified. I understand that. And I even, to a degree, understand the position that they were in with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Because this was not just them now. This was now Marvel Games stepping in, playing Big Brother to, you know, most of what was going on with this game. Not all aspects. Most. I'm not willing to shave off some of the blame off of Capcom just yet. Because I do agree that the PR for it was horribly handled. Horribly. Part of that is Combo Fiend's fault. Let's face it. Another half of it is how Capcom just played things out. But the blame is to go, there's plenty of blame to go around. On Capcom's end, on Marvel's end, and especially on our end. Here we have a game that is very unique. Very easy to pick up, yet somehow so creatively in depth. And yet we cannot appreciate that because we cannot get past the little shit that at the end of the day doesn't even fucking matter to gameplay. At the end of the day, we could probably just move past like we have with King of Fighters 14. But yet we refuse to anyway. Because it's Capcom. And because we just love complaining about shit. That's all we when was the last time that we have sat there and just enjoyed another game without completely tearing it to fucking shreds, huh? What, since the arcade days? Since Marvel vs. Capcom 2? You can love a game without feeling the need to rip on another. And if you don't like a fucking game, don't fucking play it. Don't fucking talk shit about it. Just leave it alone. Just say, yeah, it's not my game. I'm just gonna stick to Guilty Gear, or I'm just gonna stick to Dead or Alive, which RIP might also be dead right now.
Oh my God.
That there is a lot wrong with this community that now is overshadowing any potential, any good potential that could come out of this. So you know what? If the FGC was to die, it deserves it right now. Because right now, you all would much rather see a game burn because it did not have whatever you wanted. Like the game was supposed to be catered to just solely you. Come on. So if you're willing to celebrate a game's death because you want to be nitpicky and you want to be childish about it, then this community really does deserve to die. Maybe we didn't deserve the fighting game renaissance that we got. Maybe we didn't deserve Street Fighter 4 or Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or any of the Tekkens. Maybe we didn't, because this is what it ended up becoming. And with that being said, my decision is this. I am basically done with the fighting game community at this time. Which means, unfortunately, that means no tournaments for me. No, I'm probably not even going to be participating in a lot of the fighting game community's news sites and stuff like that. I'll sit there, I'll take in what I need to know pertaining to games that I play. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to play these games because I'm still loving fighting games. I still love them. I still think that they're the best genre of video games you can ever come up with. But I refuse to let anything negative taint what I love and what I love doing. So you know what? As far as major tournaments go, I'm not doing it. As far as interacting with the fighting game community further, as long as it's like this, I'm not doing it. I'm not. So, I hope that there's many people that are sane enough to, you know, leave this community has the same sense as me. Because, I mean, honestly, I say just toss this community to the wolves. Maybe after that dies out, then we can come back and we can reconstruct ourselves into something that actually deserves to be called a community. I would be more than happy to help and build something that matters. Build something akin to the arcade days where most people were respectful to each other, where you either put up or shut up. And most importantly, where you could just sit down and just play a fucking game. And just take solace in the fact that at the end of the day, no matter what, it is still a fucking game. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Not unless other people also have the balls to say, you know what, enough of this bullshit, I'm done. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm the only one to really say that. So you know what? I'm done. And I don't give a shit anymore about what you guys have to say about me, about what you guys have to say about my decision. This is something that I have to do for me, because as much as I love being part of the community, it is so toxic right now where I can't even. Where you can have people like low tier God roaming around in our community, and Dark Side Phil, I just can't. I'd rather not. And I hope that you guys are happy. If these rumors about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite are true, you could be seeing the end of a legacy that has started since X-Men vs. Street Fighter back in 1996. So I hope you're happy. I hope the laughs were worth it. Because for people that claim to love a series so much, you really did a number on it. You really did it under. So congratulations. Could be gone by October. This is why I want nothing to do with you guys from now on. I cannot. This is something that was supposed to be positive, and now we're no better than the COD fanboys running out there shooting their mouths off, swatting each other just because they didn't like what the other said while they were online. And they could be on the same team and still go after each other. That's what we're becoming. I would rather not. With that being said, link and comment, like and comment, comment whatever you want pertaining to this topic. Keep the discussion going. Let me know if you agree or not or whatever. Of course, subscribe because I do plan on doing more videos, whether just by myself or with my wife. There's not much else to say. I'm done. That's all. I'm done. This is Chidori Snake. And now that I said my piece, peace. And fuck all of you that have done this community under.
How do you feel about me?
None of us are worthy.
This is just my opinion.